in terms of price of admission, I think you could be quite happy.
You keep talking about that. How much is that price? Like, how much does it cost?
It's a lot, actually. It's a lot right now. Yeah.
Cool. Kaysen's in a good position. First contacts go. Or hits you later.
Oh, yeah.
How about another one? That P250 looks good in his hands. The A side is fallen thanks to also peeking. Yeah, pretty much chalk this one up unless Luchov's got something crazy.
He might, considering what exactly has been thrown in this round. And a bit of an update as you may be looking at these names on the Bestia side, wondering, well, where's Thomason? Lucan may just throw it to a even more sour start to the IGL right away. Lucan wants to just net his third, and he does. It's clean under the head. And that second scope is going to be up here clearing upper ton. So, I mean, they are going to have to sort of get on the hitch of it here on the rotation because it's now going straight up cat with 40 seconds to go. It seemed like it was the dive considered there by Wasau, but they're ready to send this up in a measured stint. But Jotak, time for his stint in the limelight. He gets a little bit of support, and when you're facing off against Lucan, well, that's a welcome to the big leagues moment for the young man. It's Martinez that connects onto Luchov. It's going to have to be the IGL here to get his hands dirty, and they're going to be washed by Lucan.
Really got to deal with Timo right now. Omp comes back in, and missed shot from Kaysen, but Timo under fire. How is this possible? Finally down is Timo, and now they know where Kaysen's located. Both now wielding an op. There's 3 ops in this 1v2. A wild time as he jumps off. How about another try? This shot from Martinez for Lucan. Everybody's whipping, but Lucan finally puts the finishing touches on that round. He's already repositioned. Great lurk smoke. That's going to allow them to start to scale a little bit more easily if they want to through 40 seconds as this Molotov phase. They're not going to have much of a choice.
Giving that respect, and Max is going to take so much attention here. This is the problem, but it's Jotag that gets a really good fight out first, wins it, but it's just Kaysen that's going to have to do so much more than drive-by on the 5-7, but is that even necessary? He gets 3 out of the window, and that's going to be perfect for Bestia to pull up and sink this one through the net for their first.
Oh, and it's so bad to worse, and worse to worse. Kaysen's alone, he misses the shot, and things are going wrong, Marky.
Jump into these offers with a couple of these close misses to go. Wasau needs to go deep with the nade, and that should be clean. If the bullets get there first, then he'll take it any way he can onto any trap, and they'll throw it down on the hand at long. It is off limits, and Wasau Peak has a great connection onto it. 9Z back on time after an exhilarating round win for Bestia. That was just a sweet dream.
Yeah, it's these good details from 9Z. Like, even though this game has started to fly by, 9Z has still been pretty consistent on getting the right utility in the right places. Jotak, that smokes, I mean, unfortunately one of those rookie moves where it's just going to give away his position. Kaysen now on an island.
Oh, man. They're just running them down one at a time. This B site they figured out, and that was a long time ago. Admat's going to plant this bomb down. Bestia better get ready to save. I mean, maybe Luchov can throw his hat in the ring, but at least Timo and Noxy got that $50 out of their pocket. This man has nada. Let's see if he decides to hook his head in. For DWP, let's see if I can get a free kill on it. Luchov, he likes what he sees. Now he's going to go further on the investigation, but he's a loud boy about it. He's certainly stomping up on the course, man. This op just can't get closer to him. Martinez finally put out in the end. Hopefully for the sakes of every Argentinian fan that is not supporting Lucan. See, that's where you can find your national pride out here, because for the rest of the bases, it has been thrown away. Luchov doing some miraculous things with that pistol for literally just a moment. You know, completely wipe out the, storyline of Bestia trying to avenge what they did in the, previous online playoff series that they, brought to a grand final, and, through a really rocky road, we're hoping to find that chip and, have it actually be a better day at the end. But, I mean, they, slipped up kind of the hardest in the grand final, some would argue. Here goes Lucan to go ahead and take another gold 8 entry. Been a couple of rounds since we've seen this. Detecting something on the other side of the smoke. This is different form here by Lucan right now. He is just different in this Dust 2. Then they're locking Bestia out, and Jotag will maybe try and pull one off the top shelf, but I think we're going to be dusting this one away for double digits.
Yeah, I mean, he's 16-2 right now, Mark. Like, it's hard to kind of contextualize or even put those numbers into some sort of reasonable parlance that is more understandable. It's absurd the way that he's finding these entries. And if it's not him, it's Peak on the other side. I think that, 9Z, I talked about some of the missing moments in form that they've had. Well, it's not this. There's not one of those missing pieces. Not at the moment, not even close.
Once for his 17th. Don't you dare give this man the 18. All right. We'll keep him away for the moment. The Romanian will go ahead and grab his 7th alongside. And technical problems are not right now. 4 or 5 of these players, including their coach, right? We're just in the grand final right before this. You gotta see them turn up. But only the pace is being turned up by 9Z, and it's catching them off guard.
At least some good flashes. That's going to help out immensely. They know somebody's in pit, and if he didn't before, Max just visualizes onto Showtag. So, still a duel for Long. This is maybe one of the best cases that they've looked like. There's still 2 more here at Long Corner. Everyone's here. Basically, the whole team is fighting for Long, and unfortunately, that fight has now been lost.
I mean, they're literally just so close to even spamming out another one of these 8 site members. Lichov, he floats back, has Noxy alongside. They should have a good approach for this to potentially get a second here. But with how much control 9Z have, they have all of the map to work with right now. Lucan, long range is just magnetic and terminates Bestia's hopes out of this first map. That's a pretty good source. Pretty good source.
Source, trust me, bro. That's basically the source. Oh, man. I don't even want to say it. Bestia, I think they just need to think about map number 2 right now.
Yeah, it's Mirage, which I bet they like better.
They do.
History would support this. Noxy gone. Lichov to be the spear end of this on the short approach, but Martinez has been now boxed right out, but not completely sauced. He's got 2 health on it. Adam has to rotate in. He's trying to pop a couple of shots, but this is complicated up here for 9Z. So much space they've given up. But what's one round? What's one round they consider out? It's a pair of dualies that's going to be it all here. And it's in the hands of Luchov. I would resist this temptation. Luchov, he is hot, and you are just so damn cold on this Dust 2. Let's see if Caden can raise the temperature here on this site, but it is a wishing well. One more in for that to go. It is 12 for 9Z that they just dot up in the pistol round. Up for a whole lot of praises, but we are wondering what the mood is within this Bestia camp. What did that Grand Finals loss do to them? Is it the circumstances of today? Either way, you're not done with this. You're going to have a damn good response on map number 2. Why not serve another highlight up on the reel? It's South Peak that goes out and can continue to grab. There's one more here to potentially grab for a 4th, and working on it. Would love to re-peek. Kaysen has got that on his scout. Let's see if he has one more in the case here of Long. Doesn't continue to crawl there. 1v3. Kaysen versus the world.
Well, hold on. The world might be falling all apart for 9Z. Thanks to Kaysen.
Easy repeat. No, that was right on his head.
Looked close.
The scouters around the world, they are not loving this. They may just falter. 9Z, they are so damn clean. It's a 13-1. Rear its end for Bestia. This is their map pick. Couple of 13-11 losses in a row on this Mirage. They got to make sure they turn this around, Vincent. This is, I feel like, a lot more than just their Series 1 life on the line.
Yeah, I think that is unfortunately kind of where they're at right now. Bestia, it's just not their day with the tech difficulties, but even beyond that, they looked asleep at the wheel a little bit. Lucan's gonna grab his one. Does open up the B side at least for a bomb plant.
I mean, Jotag with potentially one more map of opportunity here. That's a storyline with progress here, as it's a quick step that he has that is lengthened here where Bestia gets the bomb down, and now it's up to their caller to try and go with the 1v3. It is not gonna happen. Not today. There's some teams that can do it. There's some teams that can get 13-0, not win a single round. Roll out of like what, the green room, the hallway. It could be their own bedroom after a 10-minute break into the next map and be fine, right? But yeah, I gotta say, I don't think the forecast is going in that direction. Potentially the wind up con this round. It's a 3v3 as Bestia, they go into middle and actually pull up with a bit of confidence. But if you're talking about confidence, well, this has been the man in front of it all. Noxie now with the hardware to go for the clutch, but the bomb is not down yet. Got to get past the lines of the Romanian is holding so fine. It's a quick round. That 9Z, they dice up. Yeah, I already kind of feel like they're puffing their chest a lot better here at the beginning of this Mirage, kind of in that stint that you just pointed out, where it's this middle that they're not afraid to operate in, have a lot of utility to go ahead and do so, and they're seeing their next steps up catwalk here. JoeTag can be a really important part of the process, looking to potentially have to kill this anchor right here as they're pushed into apartments, but with that frag right into the window, it's not such easy of a cut. 4-3, you see that on Wassau's side, Luchov flips over and takes care of the young man's job. It is all the way pushed out into the bomb site, and Luchov continues to put that blade down. Luchov must have listened in to what we said in the green room, had to get that all the way on. That first map performance inspiring enough. He is online here in this fourth round.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, right, for Bestia now that they're on the T side, actually, because it feels like they can define themselves a little bit more effectively, can dictate the pace of play, how they want to approach things in a way that they couldn't when things were starting to spiral out of control in the first half of Dust. That's the CT side that they were on.
Because I agree with what Freddie pointed out, right? It was also a really good 9C Dust 2 performances where Bestia, I mean, it really must have been quite alarming at the beginning of that series. You had to pull in a sub. You're Lucan pulling in 2 frags on the extremity, and this guy still just an absolute turret in the server right now. Timu trades out a mess, but here is Martinez trying to get back in, but getting right past the connector player, well, that's another problem. Lucan has just been a terror, and here Wassau gonna go for a wide swing. Well, Lucan's out of bullets, got Max in the back pocket to help you out. Now Luchov is going to try and go long range, does have a trade, but doesn't have much else. It's 9Z to get that round right back.
Good news is that Martinez's op is nowhere to be seen. That's all the way over at B, so that's not going to be a problem for them.
Yeah, but it's the demon out under. It's Max that just has to draw a couple of eyes right now. The setup has more nuance than I originally supposed. It's jumping right out and creates a trap for Lucan to throw down. That's beautiful out of it, but this is the Academy player stepping up with a triple. JoeTag showing a flash in the pan. Some good individual efforts to pepper out, but just, I mean, too much to accomplish there in the 1v5. I really agree, especially being that I'm North American and I want to see more North American teams. Stanislaw, please stay. Please stay.
Oh my goodness. We don't even have any Academy teams, man. We wouldn't be involved. Lucan.
Oh.
Isolated. What a clear, man.
Gosh.
That's crazy.
The Deeks have came to town. It's quite a show. Martinez pulling up, and he did not buy a ticket, so you're not getting in. Need to actually make the Sabron back down in middle. Adamat's going to serve it up properly, but surprise, surprise. You got JoeTag out here still making it a problem. Wassau with limited range here. The MP9 has got one more in the case for you. 2 deagle shots out of Kaysen and Luchov. Not everybody can buy a core.
Play the
Now can we?
Advanced quality or some such.
Yep.
Lucan.
Something like that.
Always under pressure and overwhelmed. Recovered the AK only for it to fall moments later.
Now, bending this back to B. Got a couple of deagles over here as well, and they've got your names on them. 5-7's got that range too, and Max coming back from the mouse issue has no issue about it. A headshot perforating through the back of this bomb site, and now it's all up to the young gun who is hot seemingly. Gets that immediately in a trade with this deagle. Will just continue to just hammer at it. And he's down to 11 HP now, and you are surrounded. Come out with your hands out, young man. 6 and 5. I'd like to add a couple more to the tally, but he's going to go out fighting. I think that's the vibe here. That is where Bestia need to put themselves, at a point at which they are never going to see that out. Unfortunately, where I come to answer my prompt of exactly how this was going on before, it is Bestia that do.
On catwalk, double swung. Martinez aggressive tack for the first time, and oh, it's a miss, but it isn't the punish.
Yeah, this hasn't been the peaking Martinez that we've seen before, but I think the longer the series goes, this is a guy that is going to get warm just as the temperature raised here in A. He has to probably approach within this Molotov right now. Not missing. He's got one more in the clip, and he hears just one long range right next to him at default. That's going to get settled. Noxy, 1v3, and they're all going to be bleeding right from this cut from CT. 35 seconds. 9Z meet you right on the track, and Noxy gets up Max to go. I think that's only really the first thing he's had over his counterpart IGL in this series so far, to be frank with you. It's a great opening kill he's got there in the Deagle, but now what do you got?
I mean,
One smoke, a molly. Sheesh.
And the crawl out A here isn't a bad look. Lucan's in a little bit of a trouble.
I don't think there's any help here on the util. It's going to be a dry look for Lucan, and I mean, he's just straight up caught off guard. Nobody to serve him up that support anyhow, but it's a bomb plant right behind Triple, and it's an easy adjustment for Martinez. May have to pick off a second branch here, just barely around the missile pillar, and there it is. Wassow to get that from long range. This to be just put out in a worrisome fashion. Teemo can't go ahead and get a double. That would have been what it would have required. Kaysen, he reads his opposing opper like a book. And now this page turned to Wassow Peak. Let's see if he can read the lines as well as he did on Cat right now. But Kaysen, he just looks out, and it is just a swayed glance right through. And it is the accomplished when the slide right there.
Very bad time to be broke here for 9Z. They've sort of got a force buy. That means that round 12 is going to be a force no matter what as well. Oh my goodness, Max. Not aware that he's bumping knees there inside the smoke. Somehow comes out better for 9Z.
It should get support in with a Wassow Peak that's pretty damn close, but I mean, with plenty to cover in his own right. And now he's surprised. Luchov on that contact has got that out. Molotov's right out. This is Bestia getting a whole lot of respect in the bomb site, but will they expect at a mess? Showtag not ready for it. This could quickly turn into a double, and it does. This is trouble right here, and it's going to have to be back-to-back 1v2 clutches for Kaysen. This time with the op that he has just stowed away for this opportunity right now in a post plant. A nade to potentially go ahead and grasp on the smoke. That's how he's going to go and tap on the bomb. Got to look for where this is headed. A refresh that's going to get him nothing, Vinny.
I just take down. Already used that. Hustle. Oh my gosh! Tracked down twice over. The spam into the smoke, and he finds it. It is back-to-back for Kaysen. It's clutches for the man in this one. And Bestia.
I mean, so far, you don't really have to look forward the last month of play here for Bestia. He's been the brightest spot, and it's where you've needed to see guys like Teemo, guys like Luchov take the pressure off. And here it seems to be that we're all eating good today. After clutches like that, Bestia, they're starting to warm their hands together in this Mirage. They're going to pull together a 7-5 half and have their best to go about it on that CT side. It was a struggle for them on Dust 2. Really couldn't find the rhythm, but now the music is here. They can dance in this second map, Vincent, potentially. 5.5 with 2 clutches, really getting their hands dirty here. Get a breath of fresh air with the pistol round to go ahead and get. And it's just going to be this academy player on the site alone who is not going to be just a 3 gimme right here until Lucan has something to say about it. Literally the only man you ought to fear in the server today. Noxy with another, but they're setting up quite a bulletproof post plant.
Honestly, maybe had some openings there that could have been found if Luchov survived a little bit longer, but Max sends him all the way to spawn. Teemo. Pair of dualies, good for this type of positioning, but against 3, all different locations, just going to be very difficult, especially with the ninja position. Smoke might have given him a little bit more space. Ooh, not going to matter. Swapped out, tried for something on the USP, and got nowhere fast.
This A site they're going to pick on, and it's going to be loud, right to go, so get prepared. Luchov going to be under bout, teed up.
Got Kaysen as well. Timo comes in. It's a lot to deal with all at once, and Luchov even continues up and out there from under balcony. There's the flank, and Knox takes another 1v4 that Adam S now has. He's taken the first two. Bomb collected. And 35 seconds remain. He can sprint away.
Yeah. Guns to be had here, potentially right into the hands of JoeTag, and he's not exactly on the run himself. It's going to be Luchov up here to potentially collect the timing where it's poached on stairs, and now Luchov, knowing his HP, is not going to be just looking for it exactly when Adam S hops in the bomb site, just wants to see it back turned, and it's perfect here for Luchov. It's Bestia that dive back in to this CT side, and
despite some of the struggles, so
Mac's going to be under a lot of pressure here. Now going to be exactly drawn back. Going to be a big half required of Timo here, fighting in and out of this catwalk position. He's traded out by the Romanian. And now they're going to throw their hats right into the B site where Noxy. Great time for a rotation, but he's only going to get one. And Luchov on that dime, it's gone. All pressure goes onto the shoulders of the AWP player back at this bomb site, and you are not expecting South Peak to be where he was. Time for JoeTag to have his time to go, and you just saw a fadeaway player into this corner at Get Right. Potential 1v2 for JoeTag now, but which card is pulled first? It is such a clean swing that it gets onto Adam S, but South Peak has got the triple.
A rare situation where Bestia T-side, excuse me, Bestia CT side lose the round, but they have the better buy.
Starting to get thin on those nades, though. Oh, and Max, the way he just boxes out the cat player is disgusting. Kaysen now alone, a feeling he's familiar with by now. But Martinez is going to track him into the corner, and this should be an unmissable shot, but heard something tricking along there from Cat and had to give it the attention it so deserved. Do they even go for this? I mean, it's just the temptation to go ahead and drop this. It's 2 AWPs. We're really reaching for the stars right now, but with the way that shot comes down and the reposition by Kaysen, they may not be done here. Forced to go ahead and reposition. Kaysen is going to have to sprint towards CT, and especially concerned here is no kit to go. They're really about this with the two snipers.
I mean, that Molotov's well placed. It's going to displace the one man on default, but time is just of significant problems. And they don't have the kit, like you said. I think the kit was the killer from the very beginning.
Bestia pulling up to it, I think. Honestly, maybe you can look at the better side, the bright spot of people being willing to go for a round like that. Maybe their confidence is back, really.
Yeah, I mean, that is maybe the upside that you could argue. Kaysen with the opening duel.
Ooh.
That's a secondary up that Noxy was wielding going down, though. That's towards A. There's just one man. It's Luchov in defense, and he's just been double balling.
And wallbang. Hard knock life, specifically. That is tough. Down below. And then you've been clipped on the extremity. I'm a broken record. Kaysen practically the only man that could do it. But look at this. Wide open for Timo. With an op in his hands. Just seen the shoulder. Shadow, rather, of the bomb planter right now. SL Peak has quite a tripwire line that he is going to hold. And Lucan is going to come in for the flank. 9Z want to put Bestia out on the mats. They don't want to see him get up. Kaysen right alongside it. Forced into the crosshairs, most likely. SL Peak, he's jacked. I mean, he's been as automatic as he was in Upper Tons on Dust 2. Barrel spotted. And he's looking for him, but bested. Timo alongside, throw bodies at the problem, try and get rid of these AWPs. I think they've done enough work. You may still see it tracked alongside. No way. Adam S, he heard it. Let's see how far he can take it. One more for Timo. Hide.
But in the process, forget themselves a little bit. Bestia still interested in just kind of letting this one slide. A stack in the meantime. The Eagles have been good. Kaysen set up for success. Run away. Get out of here.
Oh, no. Yeah, you better turn this car around. Lucan, he's going to get a shot back like that. protect the VIP. That is Max, who's got the bomb on his back and now has no security. He's going to be loud about this, and Noxy is just going to be seeing to his opposing IGL, and now that is a taunt of a round back. It is one casualty.
I don't get it, but sort of set in stone. 9Z have to force buy and continue doing so.
Well, there goes that Tech 9. Now down to 1 HP. Lasal is going to have his body threatened by a nade. Kaysen with the op right next door is farming right here to 24, but it's not going to matter. Bestia can't stand on this stint and push it to 10 themselves. It is a worry out here for Lucan, who has no support. There's not a flash in the belts right here. This would be one hell of a thorn in the side if he makes this a problem out here for 9Z, but maybe in your dreams. Kaysen on the other end of that is not going to make it an issue. Adam S takes it personally. This Galil in the limelight now and fades away just to get enough time for cover. Kaysen just going crazy on that other side, and with the protected plant, it's going to go ahead and cost them. It is Bestia, the fine double digits, but Adam S was
blowing it down on 9Z. They take their time about this mid control, but you know what? Mid has been a bit problematic for 9Z as a whole.
Oh my gosh.
Just constant pressure applied through the top mid smoke. Noxy's just cleared mid. Now Kaysen knows what's coming for the most part.
They've flanked Bell. Very quick first shot, Vincent, but they have Luchov in the fire. That has to force him to fight, but he has enough space to breathe. And Lucan's still waiting for another shot. Will Noxy even get there? Might as well let him have that slip. It is Bestia that find map point on their selection. They want to put it into a best-of-1 versus 9Z. Quite quiet as these last 6 have been, you know, dominated by guys like Timo, like you said, Kaysen, of course, consistent beat on that op. Bestia is certainly feeling the rhythm out of the rest of this map, and with 50 seconds to potentially make this the deal about it. They're trying to test on this B lane, but it is just a tease, and they're not going to be fooled by this. The Academy player sees one trying to reach through window, but it's a quick trade you're going to have onto the bomb site. Noxy, he was the one that just faded away. All of this towards A in the previous affair, but he is being bombed, blitzed. He is gone here on the site, but 30 seconds has been the time given to Jotag to just rotate to CT when necessary. They're all smoked out. But what type of problem does Jotag just play about this? A protected plant right on the other side in that smoke. Not bulletproof though. Lasal Peak with quite a chance, and it's the only chance that 9Z will have to carry this on to overtime. Through regulation, they will be cut, and Timo has that down with quite a rotation from Cat. Bestia from 13-1 put respect and pump their chest in this second map. We're going to Nuke. I don't think they could have served it up better for us. Here, 9Z and Bestia, one of our most heated quarterfinals that we have had on the stint here this afternoon. It's our third. Imperial, got to see one of these teams walking out of it, and it may be quick into the conversation. We're already going out on this A site, and Noxy from the back of it has a great stint. Here's Thomason back into the server for the Academy player that did his best to serve up this map 3. Vincent, bomb going down on Lucan's hands.
Oh, that timing on Kaysen, that swing out is so massive, and it's what lets Bestia right back in.
I think it's a good expectation here. It's who's getting on with the energy up to begin to buy back to try and get back on that catalog here for 9Z, as it's very active outside, and we're going to need to see the Dust 2 Lucan that we know and love fighting out here, and he does have respect, but it's Lasal Peak. We want to see the best of him so far, and he already is cooking up to have a great series here. The rest is out in lower, but Bestia, they should be back on top of this at least.
You would think that, but there's a lot of space to work with. Botso taking a very long time, though, to get these numbers punched in. Martinez takes a little bit of an active duel out the single door. Comes Thomas in, and unfortunately, it's a dynamic duo. It's Botso and Martinez, one that is absolutely deadly.
The audience feeling that is perfectly nailed on the head.
This is a kind of a tough situation for Thomason, actually. I want to give it a little bit more time on this eco round, and that is the fact that, man, like, obviously it's better for him to be in the server right now than to have Jotag.
Lucan is insane.
USPs, okay, Mark, USPs.
You see the way he's gaming right now. You see the way that's going off. That is not what you want to feed the beast with. It's summertime, baby.
Okay.
You feel that. You feel that. Down the platter. Loot shot long into the stint, point blank by Max. And now it's a bit of a rumbling down below. And, I mean, 9Z are set up perfectly here to try and, you know, catch a bit of the rotations. But, you know, in a certain part of the rotations you get down for Bestia, they may be wishing they had the numbers on the site. We'll see how exactly that is organized. It's going to be all to the ramp right now.
That's right. I'm going to take it and probably keep moving with this thing. Matter of time for Bestia. By the way, winter did just begin in Argentina, just for the record.
But yo, that is facts. That's facts, though. That's facts.
Sorry. Did you see that?
Bro thinks he's still in the subway station, Minnie.
Yeah, don't know that he could hear much else in the subway station.
Train goes by, your monitor like flies off of the desk. They had to have had them nailed down, man.
Yeah.
The shot right up. Thomason trying to throw his body at the problem. Somebody's got to get aggro here. And what? It's Kaysen back at the site with a scout. It's going to be dunked on. A brutal end to that. And it may be a similar feat for the IGL. He's being burnt back. Timo with quite a headshot. This opens up a catalog from Hut. But with that door closed, it's really telegraphed for wherever Timo decides to fight. But telegraph not the problem. Just got to hit the shots. 1v1 served up, and Max, he wants to hold on to a lead, but it is Timo that continues to turn up the temperature. That comes back from his wheelhouse of ramp. It is a great second round.
You know, stays with it the whole damn time, and best Max in the 1v1. They come out with the victory.
Really giving it the emphasis outside right now. Luchov trying to fade within that smoke is going to come out successfully. Continuing to fight here onto Mini. Bestia been exactly ramping the course. Haven't had every tool in the shed to fight back outside, but now Noxy the sharpest out from Unbreakable. Adam S all alone on the island in a 1v5. He is going to be netted up himself. It is Bestia with a great CT side look, not a casualty in sight. Big round calling wise up for Max, and has a great shot back onto Luchov, who just put out so much. For Mini, early rotation is now going to be down a member. Bestia, 50 seconds to go, and readying themselves on this A side. Here's Thomason down to 16 health, doing great work staying alive at the nitro wall and getting such an important kill as this comes along. Kaysen was about to go down the ladder, has made a decision to come back up top, and Kaysen ready for this, but still going to be decked by WasLP, who's continuing to turn this up. And Noxy, what a find, literally sees the top of the head and rips it off. A 3v3 right here, and now this was exactly the linchpin to go. They were waiting for it to come up heaven. Thomason takes that next step. Vincent, this is where it comes to get fried. Timo online. He's 9-4. I have never seen this young man in this form.
Another change up, curveball outside for 9Z.
Shoulder onto Luchov, and where is the full pitch? It comes out of the other end of the Romanian's AK right here. It's never quite came through Mini like that. Thomason needs to exactly match the energy. Kaysen with the investigation in the hut, and Lucan, he's going to be cutting that first down back turn. Now has, and jumping Thomason into the arms. Now this is going to be taxing for the A site, but they can't find this awaiting member that has just gone around the corner into hut. It's all a timing to when they could potentially find Noxy. It's Timo with a back turn to heaven right now that could also be caught. But now it's Timo versus the world.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bestia just like have no information at this point of where they could be. Hold on a second. Timo's found a little bit of an angle. Lucan's separated.
Timo 1v4.
A little less low. Adam S is up above, and I mean, this is nearly unwinnable with the time now, but
no kit, yeah.
They were so separated. I was seeing the vision.
Oh, goodness gracious. If this goes wrong, the blame's on you.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know about that.
It may not get there in time.
Gotta send a first-class postage.
Very confusing letter. By the time it reaches Brazil. Nice shot out by Kaysen onto Adam S. With no utility right now, Bestia got to stand up in the spots they are. Thompson got to be a next couple of confident steps out of Nitro Wall, but he finds nothing. Kaysen here, back of the site. He was toting this angle before with the scout and was actually pretty successful. You're done. You're dusted, Lucan, for even giving that a chance. It's Martinez 1v4 with 55 to potentially see to his life. Or does the Spaniard C2 next?
Into death. It's a quick one at that. Kaysen, 3 kills in this round. Yeah, half and half.
Gotta be able to get the funds to see into that scope. I always say, Vincent, a campaign runs on dollars. You got to get that down, so why not open the door with the Galil? He does certainly in this round. It's wide open on ramp, and it's a quick stab back. Adam S in a similar scene, but Kaysen still on it. But getting those rotations, one after another, Noxie in the mix. It's Bestia staying active to help out.
I mean, Bestia's rotations have been actually phenomenal. They've been very, very active at getting themselves into the right positions. And it's particularly, you know, with understanding of even some of these rounds that 9Z have gotten down into secret too. They've been very effective. I'm very impressed with that. Kaysen, how about another one? 3K possible, and he will put the finishing touches on that. Triple kills in back-to-back rounds.
Eventually get a gallop to get Bestia off guard, but I mean, now trying to walk these pistols down into lower B. Hopefully the spams don't take one of them out. Lucan with a really good find right here, and he's going to put the vent on lock, so that's the first step. But doing that, it makes the rotations come faster. Both of these players are going to be here, but that may actually work out right now. Get these kills done early. In Kaysen, he's going to try and shine through, and actually does land up a really good spam, Vinny.
Bro, get the bomb down, man. I just feel like there's...
nobody else came through with it.
Yeah, I don't understand. This is the situation that I highlighted right at the beginning of the map here for 9Z. A couple of times, it's their scaling. Once they're like halfway towards the site, and when they try to get there, then it's so questionable. And it's going to be the end of the day there. The biggest problem for them this round. Kaysen toying with that one, but Luchov takes the final victory.
We may be trotting along kind of quickly out of this nuke, no matter how it ends. We'll get a brief stint back into Friday and his thoughts, and we'll get into our next BO3. Kaysen ripping open the second half. That's that P250 that was so damn hot to remember in that second to go. That's it, kicking out that door immediately. Hinge is gone.
Yeah, and it's Martinez that goes down. Another moment where that head-to-head, you know, we didn't necessarily get to talk about comes flying at you fast. Bestia kind of have their pick of their litter. Where do they want to go now? Lucan isolated. Reaction is going to be to head out towards ramp after Luchov falls.
Fight a brick wall here. Inside of J Hall, Lucan snapping to these heads. It's been consistent all damn day. Don't waste a performance like this. Lucan has a triple out here. It seems like the grill is hot here to go into the second half. Quite a sear they have already made on the Bestia.
Hero AK. Around where they have a few deagles as well. Try to toss those around, a little bit of utility. Maybe add to the spice.
And now a pistol pulled for Lucan. Probably the only thing that can stop him is his own devices. Out of bullets. Thompson going to be leading his team down below, and it was just a FAMAS out from the Spaniard, now into the hands of the IGL that caused the problem at lower just in the previous round. The man that holds the bomb literally has a Glock in his hand, trying to defend yourself against this match. Has a little bit of security, has a problem up top, but it's Kaysen that is going to have to come for the 1v3 clutch. Here at this point, he could potentially find these heads off guard, just have to punish them, but there's not enough bullets, again, to be found here on this CT side. Sprinting at Lucan, yeah man, not today, Houdini, you can not disappear into that smoke. It's going to be quickly, and it's going to be the red carpet laid out for Bestia into this lower site. A bone in T&Cs' body is going to tell him that not even worth attempting this.
No, not at all. Like the call from Noxie, trying to, continue to put pressure on to Lucan, who we've talked about as a huge factor for this whole best of three. Well, frustrate him a little bit, make it difficult. NMS very active.
Max gets that versus Luchov. Elsewhere,
No.
Thunderpick is going to have to be so active. This is a HUT player seeing onto so much room here. No Molotov up top, and going to be able to cause so much distraction. All of a sudden, it's all left to Thomasine alone. And now just going to be clowned outside of the vent. It is 9Z.
The build-up. Where'd the bullet go? Martinez looked locked on, and what an adjustment. Timo might have had the surprise factor. Kaysen doesn't allow his escape.
Be this meetup here into lockers, and it's Luchov that puts Lucan away. That head-to-head has been deadly, but dominated by one man. Finally, you're going to be just flipping it onto its head, closing that back door. Nothing to flank through secret. Max here stands strong in a flash that is going to try and tee him up, but it does for success. 21 HP. Max fades away, and it's all kinds of time that he has bought here under the site. But gone, kicked out. He has been regulated from it. And now the Romanian, to just chalk up a clutch right now, Vincent, needs to.
I mean, Max gives him a chance. Spotted on the first. Is he going to anticipate it? Stick around here in heaven? Well, he makes it easy. There's a smoke for the bomb as well. He got the look, and he knows what's up. I'd have messed with a 1v2. A big victory for 9Z. A breath of fresh air, it feels like, as 9Z couldn't win a clutch on Mirage.
Luchov has gotten here quite fast. This could be
Scary.
I was about to say scenes for an A hit, but it's like, yeah, we're all running out HUT dry. And now we're running out ramp dry into Lucan, who is going to tease them back. Now, at least for this stint, they're going to try and just go on the dynamic timing. But last Peak drops to the back of the site. Luchov with that pepper motion back, and he's got that good. It just depends on where this bomb plant goes and where Kaysen remains. And at the back of this bomb site, it's going to be the spray that connects. And it is all the way plugged in for an 11th here on 9Z. Well, if you're a fan of that sprint, we'll get excited, because these pistols, these Galils, they're going to be off to a pace. Martinez, though, plucks one right out, and, I mean, that may feel like they are even locked out. I mean, in a 4 versus 2, that's going to be the grasp here, knowing that this could be a time to slip up onto their backs.
Look to him. Try and facilitate something a little bit more.
We're getting it right down, back to A, and Adamas, what a spam, but this to all be turned right into Bestia's grasp. But what is this? Lucan, Max, great finds as they were pushing the envelope in through lobby. This time, it's going to be a bit more within the stance now that Kaysen is going to be ripping back. They can hear this from inside. I mean, this is going to be brutal back. But what the hell is the timing here? Oh my gosh. 99 times. That would be just bottled up and completed. This is the one that is going to provide Kaysen and Avenue down to B.
Both still topside. 9Z not really ready for this. Not sure why Noxie is separating with the bomb here. There's 50 seconds, and I guess that I'll get my answer. I just don't want to make this obvious. Prepared to go A instead, and now 9Z, they're gambled. This is just going to be A. It's going to pay off big time.
You can jump, you can fade away, but it's still Martinez that should make you pay. You're going to get past the ticket booth. Not here, but it's finally grass. You got to know that HP is low, and you got to know there's no time to think. Kaysen just flicks over. It's automatic. of who is going to be pulling through right now. A Molotov, a double flash that Bestia have to work, and the brute force behind this into one man. The other Argentinian in the server. It's Lucan that's looking back on the other side. An A1S that is primed for the taking. Out, I guess, by Tabazin. It's a great headshot in the cleanest kill that he has had back in this series. But Bestia, they pace this one out, waiting for the rotations. They want another stint to go. It's a rotation down by the Romanian. And with 45, how do Bestia engineer this? They have all the time. They have all the space. But where are they to go?
They're calling the bluff. They stay stacked up here towards A. This is very scary. Oh my lord! Jason, it's a no-scope to get in here, and it's a three-man swing. It's a crunch from three different angles, from heaven as well. Adam S, a 1v4 that now is cut to 3.
The pressure situation. Not biting off more than they can chew, Bestia. They had to feel this round out for 9Z. See exactly the stint that they were bringing, the vibe of that CT front. And it was just clean there to go. Heroics by Kaysen. Above 25 frags in both of these last maps is having a masterclass. And now to try and punch his ticket to another series in a semifinal, it's going to be Bestia that gets to do it first. 9Z are going to require overtime to stay alive here in Series 1.
Yeah, they don't even get to save the AK. They don't get to save anything. They have like 3 different angles of attack. 4, actually, if you count Heaven as well. So, you know, credit to Bestia for that, but man.
May go quick for it. Lucan gets a good chance to go and actually be able to uphold what they want on these SMGs, but it's nothing. Nothing that's going to stick here. Bestia have stuck together through thick and thin. Obviously, you know the story of the last month, but not many know the story of the last week. A hectic placement that they had through their last playoff race in a grand finals, and a grand finals that went 60 maps, 60 rounds of their first map, lost a close in 24 into overtime. You're wondering when there's going to be a little bit of sun back into sunny Argentina. Here for the Bestia camp, it's going to come in the quarterfinal, and I don't think they're going to be wanting to let this go. Bestia are just going to be on the brink of a date with Imperial here, Vincent, unless Hasselpeak has got something else, but, I mean, track through the smoke, they may just get it done.
The HP is so low, there's not much really to think about. Boss out. He'll give it his best shot, but I don't think it's going to be very good. Look at the setup as well. 180 degrees away. And Luchomp puts it to bed, puts the finishing touches on Bestia's semifinal berth. The quarters are done, and they make their way back. Reverse sweep 13-1